Wagwan, wagwan, wagwan. It's your humble host, Big Truck. Hey, yo, this was sent to me. We're going to peep this out. We're going to rap a taste a little bit. Conversation and reviews. Grab your shoulder pads and your helmet and peep this out.
God damn it, stay tuned, motherfuckers. Peel your motherfucking eyeball. Devastation is about to take place.
It's either that, we're going to get into it, right? I think she had a female friend with her. They were at the club, and they went back to his place. And for whatever reason, this guy left his drink for her to drug, and she drugged it. And the guy went to sleep, and when he woke up, all this stuff was gone. All this stuff was gone. See, gentlemen, you have to be very careful of the women that you take to your place. Now, this guy probably has done this numerous times. He's probably met numerous women who he's brought back to his place, right? But in this situation, it's very clear to me that I don't know if his instincts just wasn't kicking in, because
shout out to my man Jada Black. Go show the king some love. He's doing amazing things. I'm always proud of him. Dude met a woman and took it back to the crib and thought he was gonna, smack the bird, but she ended up drugging him, and so this is where we at. Gotta pay attention, man. Not everybody is welcome to the crib. Not every woman is welcome to sit in your ride. Can't take every woman out on a date to eat. There's a lot of things you can't do with a lot of women. You got to watch your step. You got to keep your eyes on the swivel at all times.
You take this woman back to your place, and somehow she's able to drug your drink at your place. That's the craziest thing to me. Is that, listen, if I invite a woman to my house, I'm not going to be having her get no drinks from me. I'm not going to leave my drink around. I'm not going to trust her that much. But this dude did. And she saw that. See, women like this, they take people's kindness for weakness. They see.
Yeah, they do. And they instantly pay for it. They think that they're getting away with something. But yet, that shit comes back around.
Apparently, this woman's a mother. And instead of her getting a job and being a productive citizen, she chooses to do this. And the thing is, it reminds me of my most recent live stream.
That's just as bad as a woman that is a mother having a fucking OnlyFans or slinging ass versus getting a real job. You have a lot of cats out there, doing shit for odd pieces of change. And yeah, again, a motherfucker would tell on theyself. All you have to do is sit back and observe. The moment I walk out my doors, I'm already observing. I'm already collecting data.
For those of you who haven't seen, I went live yesterday. I'll put the link in the description. Go check out that live stream, because I spoke about women and accountability in regards to these women sleeping with these teenage boys in these high schools, that nobody wants to have these discussions. I'm having these discussions.
And I'm going to have these discussions because let a man do it. Oh, he get ridiculed. He get persecuted. He get talked about. He get shamed. But you don't hear about the same things happening to the women that do it. Fuck that. We're going to hold them all accountable.
The courts are not going to hold these women accountable, because there was another case of a woman who did something similar. It might even have been her accomplice. And the judge acted like the man should have known better, right? She was more frustrated with the guy who was a victim than the women who were the perpetrators, who were going on drug and robbery sprees.
But one thing that we begin to notice, the judge ain't gonna do it. That's fine. The street's gonna do it. And when you hear about more bodies coming up, the judge is gonna have no choice but to step in and do something and convict individuals that participate in acts like this.
They do anything to not hold these heifers accountable, which is why they keep doing it. And the thing is, she didn't do this in Georgia. She did this in Florida. Because, see, in Georgia, I don't think she'd be able to get away with this. Oh, she looking at jail time. But in Florida, these druggings and robbings are happening all the time. And it's always women who come from out of state. And they come to South Florida. And they drug and rob these men. This is the only place you hear about it is in Florida. And also you do hear about it in Vegas because there were two women who went to prison for 10 years for drugging and robbing a man, but the man lost, I believe they shot him. I believe they robbed him and shot him, I believe.
I work in the federal prison, so those chicks that he's talking about, they in my facility. Looking stupid.
Or is the drugging going bad? Those women only got 10 years. And there's video evidence of them going with him to his room and then leaving his room. Only got 10 years each. They don't want to hold women accountable for their terrible choices. This woman made a terrible choice. And I know that the courts are not going to hold her accountable because he didn't lose his life. And from, again, one of the other news videos that I saw, the judge was very frustrated with the victim. Victim blaming. See, it's easy to victim blame if it's a man. But if it was a woman, oh no, they're not about to blame the woman for nothing. So let's get into the story.
This was a night out that took a turn. Investigators alleging this 26-year-old swiped thousands from the victim as he showed signs of possibly being drugged.
You're arrested for burglary to an occupied dwelling, a second-degree felony, and grand theft, a second-degree felony.
That's Bianca Thurb facing a Miami-Dade judge accused of stealing thousands from a man back on the 11th of this month.
His apartment was ransacked, and he's lost over $25,000 of merchandise.
According to arrest forms, the 26-year-old and another female met the victim at Coco nightclub. They eventually left to pick up Jamaican food and went back to his place.
Then he drank some brisk iced tea, and after that, he began experiencing abnormal fatigue and drowsiness.
He eventually went to lay down as the women were sleeping on the couch. Now, when the victim woke up, the girls were gone, missing an iPhone, a Rolex watch, a Cuban link chain, cologne bottles, IDs, bank cards, and more.
Again, in one of the other stories I saw, it was a woman who robbed a man of his watch. He had a nice watch and she robbed at him. She got him drunk or drugged him and took his watch.
All booty ain't good booty. You got to know how to move, men. Be careful of who you let in your home. Be careful of who you let in your car. Modern feminist women like this do not care. They are selfish. Women that display this type of behavior, stay the fuck away from them. You can tell she evil. You can look at her eyes and tell she evil.
You dudes, see, when you're flossing, you got to be careful because these women are vultures. And you might think that you're impressing them, but they see you as a lick. That's why there's always two women. Whenever two women approach you, just don't do it.
You motherfucking simps. They lean in with your money and your jewels and your status and things. You need to stop that shit. Because the more you do that, you make way for people like her to come in and do what they do. And then when people like her do what they do, now you want to cry like a bitch. You're loud. You advertising. You bringing attention to yourself.
Because they're running a scheme. They are in it to take from you. They're not trying to have no relations with you. They're going to do everything in their power not to have relations with you. All they want is your money and your valuables. This is women in 2025. The least protected. Y'all love talking about these women are the most least protected. What about these heifers who are drugging and robbing men and in some cases taking these men's lives?
I done seen situations where a woman done had a man drunk, tried to rob him. He came to, and he put 4 in her and unalived her.
I did a story on this channel about a sports reporter who met up with a woman during, I believe, a Super Bowl week, He took this heifer to his room and he lost his life and she robbed him and she's going to be charged with his death. These heifers are savages. The least protected is BS. There's no such thing as women being the least protected. That is BS. Okay. People keep saying that when we see more and more instances of women being the aggressors, robbing, setting up, taking the lives of men and women. Women are just as savage as men are. We need to accept that.
Now, the 26-year-old couldn't evade for long because the victim knew her license plate since he registered her vehicle at his place.
And that's how they got her. If it wasn't for that, they probably wouldn't have found her.
Yeah, if it wasn't for that, she would have got away. A lot of these hoes don't think. Being a savage, my ass, you being stupid. Now look at you. You're about to face charges. I can't speak on a large number of the judges that are out in each and every state. But I guarantee you, there are some judges out there, they don't play this shit.
You know, I don't know if maybe it's with his particular place where he lives. You have to, you know, that's actually good. That actually is a way to catch people if they do rob you.
PD eventually busted her. She didn't want to talk to anyone but a lawyer.
Count 2, there is probable cause for grand theft. That bond is $75,000.
And how is she going to bond out? I don't know. Is she going to use that man's money?
All right, and she has since posted her bond. She has not made her way out of TGK. Of course, this story has much more to come later on. That's the very latest. We're live in West Miami-Dade. I'm Samir Nafsi.
And I want y'all to understand, these women, okay, these women are a danger to themselves and other people. These women, they have a hatred for men, which is driving them to commit these robberies.
Not just that, but when things aren't going well in their lives, okay, things aren't going well, the needs are not being met. It's a problem. But let me bring this home too. When you have dudes out there that are married, they have families, but they have women like this that are side chicks, that are side pieces, that can be very, very dangerous. Actions have consequences. Having side pieces, again, you're playing Russian roulette. It's your boy Big Truck. Shout out to my man Jada Black. Go ahead and go to both of our channels, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we're going to get back to you. Hey, stay tuned for the next one. Gone.
Flawless victory.